I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Oh, yeah! This is the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Inside the ring. Outside the ring. It's all here.
We're talking about the greatest sport of all, professional wrestling. Come on!
And now, here's Nick and Keith.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Podcast. And hey, this might be your first time. Thank you for tuning in. I am Nick. This man we call Juicy Keith is in the building. Keith, what's good, man? What is this buzz about? About some sort of transformation? What's the deal?
Shift in the cosmos is what I'm hearing. I don't know, man.
What up?
It's good to be. It's good, Graydon. It's good to be back. It's been a long time since we've been live.
It's been a long time coming.
Doing the recording thing, but
this message kept popping up on my Instagram saying, "Cosmic change in the universe. You better get to the live stream." And I'm here. I don't know what the deal is. What
I don't know.
Heck, maybe there's a video, bro. Okay, let's stop acting stupid. Here we go. There we go, baby.
Yeah.
That's the cosmic change, and so is this. Welcome back to the new
and improved.
Universal, new and improved. Yeah, we got a logo. It is pretty fancy, huh? What do you think? Look at that, baby.
It's gorgeous. Absolutely
boom,
gorgeous.
baby. Boom, baby. Yeah, we wanted to do something different. Obviously, nothing has really changed other than the logo and maybe the color scheme, but we're here. We're ready to talk some wrestling. But first, Keith, you wanted to bring up last week's stream. Let's talk about it. That was kind of funny.
Yeah. So for anyone who hasn't watched it, you can check it out now because it's still a really good video. But for everyone that did, we appreciate you checking it all out.
Yes.
We were literally recording a video on like, what's our thoughts on this whole Rock, Cody, Roman situation? Like, we started recording as the press conference started. Like, we started recording when they started. So we're just like,
you know what?
Generally, I don't know about you. I don't want to speak for you, bro, but like, I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm just like, it's, it's all this crap, we're pissed off because it's going to be this thing. And blah, 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 blah. And then we finished recording, and like 10 minutes later, Nick was like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
So we felt like it was a really good one. We had some good looks going on, some good back and forth. So we're like, we got to just post it anyway. So we appreciate it if you check it out. If you haven't, you should still check it out because there is a lot of good back and forth there. But it was just bad timing. Just didn't even think about it. I said, I don't know if you did. I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, it's going to be a press conference, pictures, and we're not going to get like the brawl out again, and no one's going to fight each other. So like, what big news is going to come up? And then, sure enough, the biggest news for this does come out and ruin the whole thing. But what are you going to do?
Absolutely nothing. You can't do anything. And it's just funny that like, again, it's just like they're not, like we said, they're in a corner right now, but they're doing the right thing. What do? You go to Las Vegas. What's in Las Vegas? The Super Bowl. What do? You perform a live event. Yeah. I mean, it's just smart. I don't know. They're booking it day by day, which is sometimes a good thing. I mean, life, is day by day. So
cards
I don't know.
Change exactly.
Yeah, and the whole thing with Vince booking a year in advance. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. Things do change, but let's get into it. Rock, Cody, Reigns, now add Seth Rollins into the mix. This is again really interesting. We discussed it on the last video we uploaded, but it's just like convoluted, but it's also really entertaining. And we get new news almost every other week. And this week on Raw, Cody comes out and he pretty much says what we were all thinking. What did I say? I didn't say anything really about The Rock's family. The Rock slapped me,
Yeah.
And it's just, again, a mistake. Okay. But now it seems like they got the direction and they understand where they're going. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, no, I mean, you kind of took it right out of my mouth there. That's really what it is. Like, it was, they're it does feel like they're booking kind of more on the fly, which is totally fine with me. I'm into it. It makes it, I don't know if it's better or if it's worse than what they were doing, whatever that way, but it's like, it's definitely something that, like, it helps them keep the finger on the pulse a little more.
Yeah.
It helps to, like, not have to get to, a yes movement and everything else, even though that's kind of what happened anyway. Like, they can kind of react more and everything. And, it's honestly like, it's cool too that, like, we talk some smack, or I talk some smack on him and everything with The Rock and the contract he had and this and that and the other. But, like, what a pro to just kind of, like, read the room, pivot, and just be like, all right, yeah, fine. Like, I wanted to do that. That was what was in the contract. But, like, clearly this is what everybody else really wants. And clearly this is going to be the bigger money. So, like, let's do it.
And the thing there too is it's as of right now, but of course, like we said, subject to change. It's Roman and it's Cody at WrestleMania. And I posed this question to one of my buddies today, and I'll pose it to you.
Ooh.
What's in the way of Cody finishing his story? He's a big man, The Rock.
Right.
I mean, maybe there's more, maybe there's creative, but I'm not going to get into that. I think right now they want you to think that The Rock, well, not think, he is in the way of Cody. So do we get Cody and The Rock before Mania? And maybe, because this is what I'm saying. I'm saying you get Cody, you get The Rock, and then you get Roman, and you mix that all together, and then Rock's upset with Roman. Roman did something. Roman looks like he's more of a follower right now than a leader, but there needs to be something else, right? There needs to be some other shift. Woo, right. Baby, I'm good. There needs to be a shift in the WWE universe to say, okay, The Rock's now inserted, because, come on, it ain't going to be The Rock and Roman lovey-dovey. Something's going to happen. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think that's fun to talk about, discuss.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
The Rock's there. He is in the way of Cody. I mean, he slapped him. Why did he slap him? Like, there has to be something. Go ahead.
So I think we're getting to having Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth.
Okay, like they always do before the big pay-per-view. Let's tag team,
because that works all your stuff in. Because then we get Roman and Cody have both worked the night before, and they're working the second night now, so they're on the even playing field that way. That gives you your spot, like we talked about in the Smack Talk video and everything. But that gives you that spot for that helps you build up to that thing of, like, Rock and Roman are coming in because we got the time now to build it. So Rock and Roman come in as a united front against Seth and Cody. Something happens during the match. Rock goes for the hot tag or something. Roman's like, I got to fight him tomorrow still, so I'm going to stay fresh and getting out of here. Yeah. Kind of leaves The Rock to, to get double teamed, get him beat. So it doesn't make The Rock look weak, but now he's mad at Roman. So now he can do, like I was kind of saying in that video, you have it like the next for the main event night too, when Solo tries his stuff, The Rock comes out and stops him and got Cody's back there. It sets up all the kind of things there. The only thing I can't figure out is if they do that, I'm into it, but I guess it works for that too. Cause I also feel like we're now officially going to end up getting Drew Seth for the title. So I don't know when that goes on in it, but then it leaves Drew out as like someone who didn't fight the night before. But I think that plays into the story. Like that plays into it, like helping make it look okay when Seth loses the title to Drew. Yeah. Because like I said it before, I don't know if it was in the last video or whenever it was in the past, but like whoever Seth ends up fighting at WrestleMania is winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Because like Seth's rehabbing it and everything. He's going to fight through it, but Seth needs time away. He needs time away. He's got to go. Yeah. Like, and that's fine. That's not like a criticism of him. It's just a thing. No, dude's hurt. Yeah. So he's got to take some time away. So whoever he's facing at Mania is going to win the title.
Yep.
So that kind of builds into it too. If him and Cody tagging against Rock and Roman night 1, he defends the title to open maybe night 2 or whatever, or somewhere in the middle, whatever it is. But both championships the same night. So he defends there. He's kind of still beat up from the night before. He's weaker. You have some spot in the match where somebody goes after the knee that's already bad or whatever it was, and then Drew just targets it. Drew beats him, or whoever it is, Drew or Gunther or whoever. So
Mikey Mike, thank you for tuning in. Graydon, you as well.
My man.
Hey, look who finally showed up here. TK, Timmy King from Bible study, and the director, the professor, I don't know what he calls himself, but I call him a friend. Ivan is in the building. Happy Tuesday. What's up, buddy? Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because of this, and this, not this only, but this is a big, bold underline, like, what the hell? Like, Drew? I understand Drew is not probably, in my opinion, he is the best heel in the business right now as we speak, on the mic, on social media. I mean, just in the backstage, like he do all wrong, and it's great. And I think, he's going to step up. If it's going to be him, then I'm okay with that. I know he needs his time to get that one more championship, get that one more title with people. I get it. We've heard that, for a long time. I'm not too happy on that. I would rather see Seth go one-on-one with someone else. I don't know. I just know that what they're doing, like I said in the beginning, it's good, it's bad, it's indifferent, it's fun. But I think that also leads to the next topic here. Triple H sends a message to The Rock. I think he started off, what was it, Raw or SmackDown? Or Raw, I guess.
I think it was Raw.
Tuesday. And he basically said, I'm in charge. The buck stops here. You are a shareholder. You are at the table. But for creative, basically, he said, it's my job. Yeah. Leave it alone. And I think it's interesting. I think, I don't know if you watch, what was Rocky's show on NBC?
Young Rock.
It seemed like even in that series, him and Trips had a little bit of, there was something in between them, and it'll be fun to see what happens. I mean, Trips is, again, he's in the middle of everything. He's in the middle of the scandal, not really in the middle, but he's part of the family. He's in the middle of this shit show that turned into maybe something really awesome to see. And, for all the moaning and bitching about we want Cody and we want Rocky, he's doing the best he can. I mean, he's pivoting every second of the hour.
Listening. Yes. He's listening to what the fan reaction is. It's not just being like, it's not Roman being shoved down our throats. I mean,
what's up, Maddie?
Oh, like it's really good. It's good with them listening. One of the only things I wasn't crazy about with this like whole segment and everything was like, as soon as that happened, like as soon as after the press conference happened, when Rock had like to walk up to him, like, figure it out, whatever, fix it or whatever the quote was. I wasn't gonna, but like immediately, like everyone, like everywhere was like lighting up, just being like, oh man, are we gonna get Triple H Rock at WrestleMania? And like, it's another one of those that like when we were talking back, when it first happened, like with Ric Flair back in AEW, I'm just like, you think you want that match, you don't. Nobody wants that match in 2024.
Yeah.
And like I don't think it's going to happen anyway, because I think Triple H is too his heart is all like, he had his issues and stuff. I literally don't think he can go in the ring anymore.
No.
And again, that's not a criticism coming from like, the fattest guy on wrestling podcasting potentially here.
Do it,
but he can. His health it's bad, and that's okay. He doesn't need to do any more in the ring. He's done plenty for us, and he's fantastic. So like, I don't think we're gonna get that match, but it's just like, it's one of those things. It's like, it was like one of those times that like when it popped up, I'm just like, man, wrestling fans suck. Because I'm like, just shut up, man. Just because like things are said and like quotes are used and stuff, like it doesn't automatically mean that there's a thing and we're building to this match. Like it's not always a storyline.
Yeah.
And like when there are good storylines, like yes, that's a great thing, but it's just like you don't have to find a story and a lead up or a build up and everything in everything that happens. Like sometimes it's just two dudes that are good at promos talking and doing things back and forth to each other, and Triple H dropping the "it doesn't matter what you think" and like doing those like little Rock quips and stuff, and it's just like, no, this isn't leading to a match with them. And like I said to start, that even if it was, damn it, because none of us really want to see that. You think you might, but you really don't in 2024.
And again, I think I may read between the lines a little too much. I might read into things a little too much. But as a wrestling fan that's watched for a long time, I don't, what he said was cool, but my brain's thinking like, well, why did he have to do that? Why did he think he needed to go out there? Is there something that we don't see? Like, why?
Right.
Why would he go out? Like, we know he is creative.
Yeah, we're getting into like that. It's like reality, but is it reality?
Exactly.
And
well, that's where my head goes. Like, The Rock is a board member. Okay, I don't really think that affects Trips unless Trips is 1A or 2A or 3A in the what is it? The court files, the files that it named like employee 1, employee 2. You would think it's Trips, maybe Steph.
Shane was still listed as something crazy when that. I remember that. That was wild.
Yeah, and there's a ref too. That's odd too. But why did he think he needed to go out there and do that? I guess because he needs to stand tall. He needs to make sure that his ducks are in a row. I mean, to make it more believable. Keith, if you even think about it, we're talking about it. I'm talking about it because it's almost believable that his cojones, he needed to go out there. This is my effing show, and I'm going to tell The Rock that I'm the man. It's like, okay, but I'm digging it. I read too much into things.
I don't think you're reading too much into it. I think that's kind of what, I think that's what it was a little bit. Ooh.
What's up, Kyle?
Call me. I do think that's part of like what it was, honestly, is that it was like, I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily with him doing that, because it's like, it's him again, like in a different way, like acknowledging like the knowledge and like the wants and the everything of the fans, because like it was all very like back and forth, like do where it was just like, the Vince stuff, but it was just like Rock is part of the board. Rock is in WrestleMania now. It was just like doom. Like, and it was easy and partially was like all tied into this like whole narrative of like, well, Rock's part of the board. Rock's inserting himself. He's the one making these decisions. He's running the show because he's part of the board and everything. Which may or may not be. I'm not in that boardroom and whatever. I don't know, and I honestly don't know that I really want to know like all of the insides and outsides of the politics and whatnot in there. So that's fine, but like because there are so many fans that probably do think that way and that swallow the Kool-Aid and go for it that way. It's him being able to come out and address it as like, well, you might be on the board, but I'm running this show. And like, it just helps build that realism, even though like most likely they went in the back, Rock was probably sitting back there just like, damn, that was real good, dude. Well done. Let's go get a beer later. Cool. Or I guess Triple H doesn't drink, maybe. Whatever. Whatever. Let's drink protein shakes together.
There you go. Keith.
Yeah.
We got to do it, baby. We haven't done it in a long time. We talk about them in every upload. Let's go, baby. There he is.
Yes.
Just in time. 1 year over. Justin's birthday again. We appreciate it. We love you. We love everybody. Kyle, Ivan, Matt, who is maybe Hacksaw, Mikey, Bin Buster, Graydon. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
We're just as excited too. I guess one last thing before we move on to the next topic. Like we said, it's good, bad, and different. This is a big moment for professional wrestling, and we'll get to AEW. That's the last two topics, but just talking about WWE, there's a lot of eyes on the product. Yes, The Rock has something to do with that, but also, unfortunately, Vince has a lot more to do with that as well. Pat is back. That brings the eyeballs to the product. The Rumble was really good. It seems like they're going to different countries, and that's really helping. Hey, the $5-10 billion, what was it, $5 billion for 10 years, or I don't know, but
there's a lot, too much.
The Netflix.
Oh, the Netflix one.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Saudi again, and I was like,
no,
I don't know.
No.
It's too long and too much. I don't know.
The Netflix deal, CW will be the home for WWE NXT. SmackDown is going back to USA. It just seems like there's a lot going, so it's fun, man. Mania's in our backyard. But let's get to the next topic because I know you'll want to talk about this. This as much as Rock, Cody, and Roman, and Trips, and Cody, and Rocky, and Drew, Seth, it's just really entertaining. And we just discussed, so many eyeballs on the product. And I'm not saying he's losing the focus. I'm not saying he's not the center point. I think anytime anyone talks about a legitimate champion, it's 1A and 1B. It's Roman and Gunther. And he's right up there for a good reason. It's just, I don't know who's next. It's kind of like Roman a year or two ago, who are you going to throw at him? Kofi, Woods, are you going to bring back Goldberg? I mean, this is a big deal because obviously Roman's good to go. We know it's going to be Cody or Rock and the Triple. We don't even know, but we know that situation is taken care of. But for Gunther, I mean, what do you do, man? And you're a big fan. Let's hear it.
Very much so.
What do you do? Who's his next challenger?
I unfortunately.
Yes, he did it. He corrected us. Yes.
The officially unofficial fact checker.
Thank you.
Officially unofficial. Yeah. But yeah, there it is. That's exactly what it is. I do feel like Jay is going to beat him. I'm not stoked about that.
Really? Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like it's the tough thing with these long reigns. I love that Gunther has had this long reign. I love that the Honky Tonk Man is not the one that has to be brought up with the Intercontinental title as much anymore. I mean, he still will be until all of us start dying out. But we got stuff for now. I like that, Kyle. I'm into that. Just listen to what Kyle's saying. All of that. I don't know. I feel like as much as I love the Gunther long reign and everything, and as much as I really want my whole idea that I keep talking about of like him just holding on to it for as long as he wants and eventually being like, I have grown out of this title, so I'm going to vacate this because I don't care about it anymore because I've done as much as I need to with it. I've elevated it past the Honky Tonk Man, and now I'm coming for a world title. I would like that. It might be lame for some people, and that's fine. It's just, I don't know. Like it's the tough thing with all the long reigns. Like as awesome as they all are, it's like you get to a certain point where it's just like, well, what do you do for it? Kyle had mentioned hopefully Gable at Mania. That was my hope too, but I also feel like they've kind of completely cooled on Gable at this point now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but I would love Gable to do it. I thought as much as I know, like I wanted him to beat the Honky Tonk Man's reign and everything, and I know that wasn't going to happen if Gable beat him. But I feel like when him and Gable were having that like first round of 3, I think it was they did in a row. That was the time. That was the time to put it on Gable. Absolutely, 100% at that time. I'm glad they didn't, so that Gunther could beat the streak and everything and all that. But I mean, I feel like, and Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure at this point, if not very, very, very soon, Gunther's going to overtake the longest reigns in general. Like Miz or Jericho, whoever has the longest collective like time with it. I think it's Miz has like 600 and some whatever odd days as like his combined reigns are that long. And this solo reign of Gunther's is about to eclipse that. And it'd be cool to have him go past that, to really have him down in the damn record books with it all. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know. Like, it's tough to think like who the next challenger is because it's like, I don't know who's there for it. Like I said, Gable was the one at the time when they were doing all that, but I feel like Gable's really cooled off now, and it's almost getting to the point that like the center of attention in Alpha Academy is friggin' Maxine Dupree for some reason.
Yeah. I don't think they would do this, but I know sometimes they'll cool the guys off and then bring them back. Yeah. I just don't know if Gable is, stature. He's more of a comedy guy as we speak. Obviously, we know he's good on the mic and good in the ring. I just don't know if they see that in Gable. I think they know he can go, but you can't have him beat. You can. You can, because it would be believable, but you can't have him beat Gunther. I mean, and it's going to be clean. I don't know.
It comes back to that's the whole part. That's the whole kind of part of it is like it's tough with these longer reigns because it's like you want whoever's going to beat these longer reigns, whether it's Gunther, and Roman, and everything. Yep. You want it to be like something that helps to like make somebody more. Well, Roman's a different one because like Cody's kind of already made, but like whatever. If Cody's going to take it, finish the story, et cetera, great.
Yeah.
Fine. We're all fine with that. We've been building for that for freaking 2 years at this point.
Yeah.
So fine. Great. Good. Let's do that. With Gunther, though, I don't feel like you're kind of running out of time to build somebody up to the point of like getting that off of them. Because like, I guess in that's like in the same vein of like, oh, you wanted to make somebody like, okay, if you're trying to make somebody, Braun Breaker's coming up. Braun Breaker beats it. But then, like, I say that, and as I'm saying that, I'm like, I want to throw up because I don't want that at all. Like, I don't want the newcomer to come up and beat him clean for the title. Like, yeah, awesome, that makes Breaker, but then it also makes Gunther look like a chump and ruins 600 Days of Reign.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we just need to get somebody there again. And if it's going to be Gable and they have the 2 months now, build them up. Stop having them be all laughy and everything, and that would be great. I'm totally into that.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, right now, it's like he's kind of stuck in this, with it,
Yeah, because you fought him so many times. Yeah, you better correct yourself, Kyle. It's believable,
and I agree. Gable beating him is believable. My man, once again.
I love him.
Glad to have you
back,
buddy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some eyes he is, but in my eyes, I just... Okay.
That's I'm what I mean.
Okay with
like,
it.
In terms of like his like technician, like his ability, like his in-ring ability and all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like Gable took Gunther to the limit a couple of times at this point, multiple times at this point.
Yeah.
He can do it again and actually get him over that limit and take that title. I do believe that. Yeah. I just feel like from the
capitalizing,
the sports entertainment side of it all, it's just like people are behind them. People are behind Gable for sure, but like I don't know, like I feel and maybe this is all just like kind of being like gun shy to like thinking of the old regime and the old ways of booking and everything, but it's just like it has you like thinking about the time, like it just has it has me anyway, like thinking about the times of like just somebody like I'm trying to think of like a good one of like China taking the Intercontinental title off of Jarrett, like Jericho for a time or whatever. Jarrett, yes, Jarrett. You're right. No, that was yes, not Jericho. Yes, taking it off of Jarrett. Like Jarrett at that time, maybe not the most charismatic, maybe no one's favorite wrestler, or whatever. Maybe he was, whatever. But like you take it off and you give him to China for like the shock value and all, and like maybe that was like really cool then. But looking back, it's just like that was such a bad call. Like. And you just completely trashed Jarrett. And granted, Jarrett was leaving, so like whatever. But it's like it comes back to the whole like the booking aspect of it. Is that it's like Gable hasn't been booked all that strong leading up. I would believe him to be Gunther because he's taken him to the limit in the past. But then it's like once he has it, then it's you're really putting a lot of hope in the fans to like keep behind him as opposed to being like, all right, he won the title. We were happy in the moment, but like, what are we doing now?
Yeah. I think go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I was just going to say, like, I think it is just, it comes back to that same thing of like the old booking mentality. Zack Ryder winning the ladder match at Mania and then literally dropping it the next night. Like, like I'm scared for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think if there's anyone, it's got to be someone close to Gunther. It's got to be someone that he, trusts, that he believes in, that he knows, can do whatever is asked of him. And someone like Kaiser, Ludwig, I think it's a real good possibility that he does it at some point. Maybe not beat him for the title, but they go one-on-one. They have a feud. I think that's something you want to see. I would like to see that. I would like to see Ludwig win the title. I think that is believable. I think it's a great concept, a great story, something you can, dig your teeth into. And, I mean, what's better than somebody turning their back on, on you? I mean, that's it. That's what wrestling's all about,
Right.
It could happen. I would love to see it happen. I mean, at this point, we're just waiting to see what's next. I know they are doing something with him at the Chamber. I mean, he has to be there. I don't know. I mean, it is a little too soon to tell. I mean, he wasn't at Rumble, or he was in the Rumble. He didn't have a title match. I don't know, but it's interesting. Keith, are you ready? You want to get to the next topic here?
Yeah, for sure.
Damian Priest, Money in the Bank dilemma. I don't know if he spoke out of turn. I don't know if this is something that, he was asked on a podcast, and I don't know if it's just something he didn't think of and he just said it, but he's got us talking. He can't cash in because why? Because Seth Rollins is what? Do you get this? Do you understand this?
I don't. I was very confused when this was all said, and honestly, like all it made me feel out of it is in seeing it was just like the
he
first
said
thought
he's not
I had
medically cleared. Yeah,
right. Which is because when I saw this come up, like the first thought that popped into my head was just like. My first thing was just like we have to decide here, like they have to decide, like are we having long title reigns or are we having Money in the Bank contract winners? Because like this will be it. I don't know what's going to happen with the Priest one. I don't even really know that I read like all of what he was saying, but it's just like what between what happened with Theory last year and then now like this year, it's just like you got to pick a lane. Are we having long reigns or are we going to have like this uncertainty of Money in the Bank stuff? Because like, they don't work together.
No.
You know, I brought it up not to keep tooting my own horn on things that I talk about and my ideas, like they're the friggin' best in the world. But I don't know if you remember it or anything, but like when Theory was carrying the briefcase, my idea for it last year was just like to make Theory instantly the most hated person in all of WWE. You have him hold that briefcase until Mania. You have Roman and Cody in the main event. Cody wins A-Town down. He comes out and just cashes in right away, beats Cody immediately. Nuclear heat on Theory. And if he doesn't hold it that long, whatever happens after that. All right, whatever. But like the booking after that's the harder part, and I get that. But like that would have just been outrageous, you know?
Yeah.
And now this year, all this stuff with Priest, like, even like I can't even tell you how many times this is no fault of Priest either. It's just because of what the world title scene is that like I can't tell you how many times since Money in the Bank that like I've kind of forgotten that Damian Priest was even like holding it. Like I know he comes out with the briefcase every week, but like I don't even like think about it as being a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like we had Theory more or less being like, I'm not gonna cash in on Roman Reigns. That's crazy. Which is like, Jesus Christ, way to bury a person. And I know that was the old regime, whatever. But like, and then you have Priest saying this where he didn't say it, but he more or less said the same thing of just like, well, Seth's not medically cleared. And it's like, okay, but then there's another world champion. And you basically just said like, no, I'm not going to, like, you didn't say it, but you're kind of saying like, well, I'm not going to go after him either. So like, well, then what was the point of even having the match for it? The women can still have it. That's working out fine over there. I'm stoked for Bayley and, I was stoked when Io won it, and then, that's fine. Just maybe have them hold it for longer because we're still very short holdings other than Carmella, like the first one ever. She held it for a while, but like,
I guess
whatever.
The problem I have is it's not like they're ignoring the fact that you got Gunther and Roman with long title reigns, but it just doesn't seem like they're pivoting, like what we just saw with Rock, Cody, and Roman. They pivot, they absolutely don't tell me they didn't. I know they did. I read everything Meltzer says. I know because I believe in it. But it just seems like they haven't, pivot. They didn't pivot to do something different. They didn't say, you know what? I know they brought up what you can go for the mid-card titles, but still that's not a big enough pivot. I mean, Kyle said it. Maybe you take a break.
That's what. See, and that was like my first thought I had as well, Kyle. But like, I'm also, like I just said, I do like the women's one. I don't feel like they're really fumbling around or like messing up too much with the women's one. Like Io won it this year, or whatever. But like with Io taking it, it wasn't a thing. Like I didn't have it in my mind. They're just like, well, she's taking it, so she's definitely going to go after Bianca. Like I kind of thought she would, but I was like, she could go for Rhea. Like, I know Rhea's having a longer reign too and everything, so it's like kind of contradictory. But like Rhea's Jesus, my sister-in-law. Rhea hasn't had the same longevity that like Roman has, where it's just like for men's Money in the Bank, you're just like kind of ignoring that whole side of it because it's just like he's become this god and I can't do that. And it's like, well, that's crap. You're killing yourself with that. Like you're killing your own momentum with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
even this comment, I get it. They did it in the past, but it still doesn't make it right. I mean,
right. Well, when this one Justin brought up earlier, like
I didn't see that.
This sucks. Like I feel you on this, Justin. And like the fact that that's a thing, that sucks. Like that just is that's crap. Like, great. Yeah. He's either not going to do it on time and waste it, which I guess there's a way they can get around that and have a little bit of fun with that, where it's something like Truth stole the contract and is TE, and we advance like Judgment Day storyline stuff, which honestly I'd be okay with. I love R-Truth, whatever.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't solve the problem.
Or he's going to fail it, which is then just like, dude, again, what's the point? Like with Theories last year, what was the point in having him fail? Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just tough. I feel like over the last two, with like where we are now and with Theories last year, Money in the Bank is kind of losing its like luster a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe it is like Kyle said, like we take a break for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Maybe have the women's one, call it something different, maybe if you need to or whatever. But I don't know. It just hasn't been exciting. But I do feel it's like it ties back in. Like I said, I feel like it's just part of it is because it's like we have these long reigns. Like if you're going to go back to like not as dominant 1,000+ day, 600 day, no hate on Gunther, but like if you're not going to have these like 2-3 year reigns at a time, like all right, then keep it around and make it's more believable and
it's not believable, and it just seems like there's nothing you can do. I mean, it is a legitimate problem if you're going to keep it around and just have him walk around like it's a necklace or something. Like it's more than that. I mean, it's something they should be proud of, and it's like, okay, well, Judgment Day's doing very well, and we'll just put it in the corner there. And we know that he is the champ. Oh, let's change the name. He's Senor. Oh, we did it. It's like, okay, you did what? You painted it purple. Okay, that's cool. But like, I don't know, man. It's just again, this is a small mini problem that they have. And is it really worth fixing? Is it really worth not having the event that's so exciting? They probably make just as much as money on that event that, than a Survivor Series, or, I mean, it could probably come close to Rumble, with that kind of excitement. I don't know, as a business decision, if you just say, let's eliminate it because Roman's so good, or, Gunther holds it for over 600 days. It's just, it's a small problem that podcasters talk about,
Right.
Well,
I get that.
If he did it, then you can't do it.
It's definitely shaking my fist and yelling at clouds over here. But it's just crazy, It's such a drop off kind of just what it was, But
yeah. You know what's crazy? We're gonna talk some AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Okada, Ospreay. We know Ospreay is going to AEW. Okada, I think we all
he's gonna.
Yeah, we know that he's going again. I listened to the dirt sheets, Justin. I know my shit. It's exciting because, I mean, when you talk about the top 5, top 10 in 2020, 2021, et cetera, who's there? It's Okada, it's Ospreay, and they've been there. They're on that Mount Rushmore for the past, I don't know, maybe even I would say decade. But when you talk about the greatest wrestler, you talk about Ospreay, you talk about Okada, and now they're going to AEW. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a big deal because A, what our last topic is, and B, like I said, biggest. I mean, names like Ospreay. Even if you're not even a wrestling fan, or you're a wrestling fan but you only watch like the WWE, and that's all you really know, but you do know his name, Right. It's interesting. Let's hear it, man. What do you think just in general?
I mean, it's one of those. It's cool. It's exciting. It's going to be exciting to be able to see. I mean, especially for me, like Okada on like TV more regularly, because like shouldn't say it as a wrestling podcast or whatever, but like I don't pay for like New Japan World or anything. So like I haven't gotten to watch a ton of his stuff until it's like well after the fact, and you can find the whole match on YouTube for free. But like it's exciting to have both of them, honestly, being like on TV on a regular basis where I'll be able to watch them kind of more in time with them, so that's real cool. The whole thing has been really just interesting. Like it was one of those, like, for me, like when it was announced that both of them were like coming up on free agency and like fishing around, obviously the conversation always goes like, oh, are they going to go to WWE? They're going to go to AEW? Like, one, like disrespect, like there's not other options in the world. Like no one ever really thought that Ospreay was going to like sign a TNA contract. No disrespect to them, but like he's a little bigger than all that. Same with Okada again. They both did their little stints back there, and that's great. But like, I don't know. It's one of those, it's like the most obvious like news that like should have been exciting, but like was never really in question. Cause like they went on free agency. It's like, well, where are they going to go? And it's like probably AEW. I can't see either one of them in WWE and have to like edit who they are and their style and becoming anything WWE wise. You know what I mean? There was, and then all like to talk about like, there was all this, there was that thing for a minute of, Okada's going to NXT. And I was just like, there's no way. Like, one, I don't think there's any way he's going to WWE to begin with. And even if let's get past that though, and let's say that he is going to go to WWE, he's not going to friggin' NXT. That's like, it's like, oh man, like we just signed Bryce Harper to the Phillies. We're going to put him on the Iron Pigs. Like, no, you're not. Yeah. No, you're not. It doesn't work that way.
It's a good question by Kyle. Do you think the AEW roster is too bloated?
10,000%.
Really?
It is. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Especially the women's division, because they barely showcase it. I won't go off on that one too much, but absolutely it is. Absolutely it is.
That's an interesting one.
They're in like kind of a lucky spot right now. Lucky, which is horrible to say. Yeah. Like, lucky that like people like Adam Cole and like MJF and Keith Lee and Omega are like hurt and they can't be there. So like they're kind of forcing to have to get into some of those other toys that are in the toy box. Yeah. But it's like, man, I mean, especially what was it? 2021, I think it was. Like they put a graphic up somebody put a graphic out on Twitter, now X, back like toward the end of 2021, I think it was, or maybe it was the end of 2022, of like, it was just a picture of all of the black whoever is all elite, and it was just like you just looked at that picture and it's like, bro, you can just take this. That was just the signings for the 1 year, and it's just like you could just take this block of people that are in here and start a brand new promotion with just these people, easily. And it's like that was just who they signed that year. That didn't include having everybody they already had on the roster to start with, and all of that, and and like. They're absolutely too bloated, and it stinks because then it's just like you look around like, Orange Cassidy is great, but like they just kind of wheel him out to have like the same match every week now and the same stuff with the same people all the time. Yeah. The Lucha Brothers, who were for a long time in the same conversation of like tag team wrestling, of like the tag team wrestling Mexican equivalent of like your Okada and Ospreay. And now they're like challenging for like Ring of Honor titles and stuff. Like they're kind of down there, which I'm pretty sure Phoenix is hurt. So like I get maybe that's not the best example, but like still like it's just he's got so many toys in this toy box and he's just like still buying more. He's a spoiled kid because he kind of just is like the rich guy that's just like, well, I can buy this, I can buy that, Sorry, I talked a lot about that. Do you think it's too bloated? You answer Kyle's question.
I think for a TV show, absolutely. For the amount of hours they're on TV, yes, absolutely. But if it's funny, I'm going to compare it to sports because that's my next, love is sports. You don't say the Yankees have a bloated roster. I mean, you don't. Even if you do something along the lines of, what was it? LeBron, the Cavaliers. No. Heat. They had a bunch of people and they won a few championships. You can, it's a thin line there where you can compare it to sports. Yeah. But just straight up, yes, just because of the amount of hours they have to and the booking too. I mean, it really we wouldn't be talking about this if everybody got their time in, and we wouldn't be saying it's a bloated roster if they knew what to do, if they knew how to put certain people on different shows. And it's too much. It's too much for Tony. It's too much for anyone that has a new company. You know, it doesn't matter if you love wrestling and you think you can book a territory. It's about the ins and outs. It's about setting up a good story on Saturday, then bringing it to Wednesday, making sure the lines connect there, make sure you connect the dots to make it make sense. And that's where it is. That's a fact. I mean, that is. They're bloated because they don't have enough hours in a day. I mean, with that roster, you would need a show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just to get everybody over. It is difficult. And again, with the Punk and the Bucks and just Cody leaving, I mean, there's a lot of, bruises on AEW. And I think that might be difficult too, because the fans don't believe in Tony Khan. It's more fun to mock his cocaine habit than cheer him, It's more fun. It's more fun to say the bigger company WWE is doing better. Well, no shit, they're doing better. They've been here for over,
right. I don't always think the comparison is fair.
Yeah.
In any way, it's just, You kind of nailed it. And I didn't really think about it before until you just said it there, but it really comes down to like, they are bloated, but it is because there's not enough TV time to go around right now.
And inexperience.
And with running a promotion, whatever. And that's growing pains. That can be fixed. But like, it's a double-edged sword though, because it's like they're bloated because they don't have enough time. But if they went to more time, then we'd all be complaining like, "Oh man, now Dynamite's 3 hours too. Raw already is. Jesus, and SmackDown's 2 hours." Like,
Yep.
So it's like it's almost like it's a good problem that they have, but like it also just makes you like it sucks though at the same time. Like it's a good problem, but it still is a problem because then you're trying you got to have the time for. These awesome storylines we all want to keep seeing of Hangman and Swerve and Joe and all of that going on. And then in the meantime, like, I don't know if anyone else is that way, but it's just like, cool. I know they have like being the Dark Order now because it's not being the Elite, but like, where are they at? They were huge. I love Johnny Hungy. And then it was just kind of like, well, we're going to move Hangman away from you so you guys can all just shut up and go away now.
Yeah.
Have your YouTube show and we'll call it a day. Like, no, that sucks. Like those guys really got themselves over after a really crappy start.
Yeah.
They got it in line and got over and everything. Like, and just keep it going with that. Like, work on the other things you have too. And it like, every show doesn't have to be like Hangman and Swerve, Blackpool Combat Club, friggin' Young Bucks doing a promo where they pretend to be WWE people and fucking an Orange Cassidy match. And maybe we put a women's match on if we have time to. Yeah. But probably won't.
I don't think this is as big as a factor, but they do have big names. I mean, just off the top of your head, Keith, Omega and Cole. But that's not a problem. That's probably a good thing,
That's what I'm saying. One, it's a good thing because you're missing a lot of them now, so we get time to let the Hangman and the Swerve storyline absolutely, Kyle. We get time to let that storyline like breathe and everything. But like it's still, not throwing hate on him because friend of the channel and everything. But like even Adam Cole's hurt, but like he's still on TV every week with this storyline that like I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but like I kind of don't really care about the whole United Kingdom or Undisputed Kingdom, whatever they call it, Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah,
I don't really care that much about that storyline because there's no MJF, which was the biggest part of it leading into it because he's hurt, and that's fine. But like they basically come out and say the same promo. We're just like, we're all going to get gold. And it's like, well, are you? Because Taven and Bennett have the friggin' Ring of Honor tag titles. Is that a thing? Yeah, that's the gold.
Yeah.
You want? Okay. I'm interested to see Roddy and Orange Cassidy, and maybe they'll cake it and everything. And then, but they're literally already writing how that's breaking up because then he's like, and Wardlow's going to win the world title and give it to me. Like, no, he's not. That's going to be Wardlow turning again, so we can have another hope that they're going to push him, and then they won't again and drop the ball. Like, anyway, don't want to keep crapping on AEW. I like AEW.
I know.
Just, you know,
this is what we do. We just talk about ins and outs and ups and downs. And I think this is a huge up for AEW. I think, you know, we won't get into politics with what Tony's doing in New Japan and what Tony did to Impact. I mean, there's a lot we could talk about, and we don't have the time and the effort. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see consistency.
Absolutely.
I think consistency with anything, with podcasting, with life, is key. Let's see more Ospreay. Bring them in as soon as possible. They don't have Cole. They don't have Punk anymore. They don't have Omega. I mean, there's a lot of guys and a lot of time that they can fill for these guys. I don't want to say that as in like, well, we just talked about it. They have no time, but they have, you know what I'm saying? Like they have Ospreay is there. Okada is there. It's going to be fun. I don't know. I don't know what you can do. I guess that leads us into the final topic of the night.
Yeah.
AEW Big Business with how many $? $2. I mean, if you're going to read in between the lines here, Keith, Sasha Banks, Monet.
It's not even in between the lines. It's the lines getting smacked across your mouth. Yeah.
Monet is heading to AEW. That's what it seems like. I mean, it's going to be in Boston. I mean, they have the $. I mean, it's right there. You know,
it's also just like a random episode being named Big Business, kind of like the last dance or the first dance was when Punk came back. So yeah, it's all there. It's going to end up being her.
Yeah. And this is another thing. I mean, Kyle brought it up. We talked about it for 5 to 10 minutes. Is it bloated? I mean, haters out. They need somebody to be, I don't know, a challenger for Toni Storm. I mean, yes, it's nice to see. What's her name? Deanna. It's nice to see her get the spotlight in AEW first coming in. I think that's something cool and it's well deserved. But Banks, as much as, you know, she may be a complainer and, you know, she walked out WrestleMania or something with Bailey. I forget the exact thing that happened, but it's a big deal. Like it or not, it is. I mean, when she's healthy, she brings in the ratings. I mean, if there's anyone more toxic on Twitter than Banks fans, I mean, tell me about it. But I don't know. I think she has that. We want Banks, Monet, whatever. Daniel Bryan. Okay. It's going to be interesting. Just stay healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. And Justin here just commented and took the words right out of my mouth with it. She's coming. There's two things that I thought about with this when this is announced. One, Tony needs to stop with the whole, I have a big announcement coming.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. Just let things happen. Let us just have surprises. Don't tell us you're going to give us a surprise. Just do the surprise when you do the surprise. Because him saying I have a big announcement and then this was the announcement was just like, okay. You could have just did this and that would have been it. That out of the way now. This is like Justin said, this is the time because like and everything we were just talking about with the bloated rosters and everything, the women's division, I can't even tell you any sort of storyline that was going on in the women's division right now outside of it just being that Toni Storm is going to take on Deonna Purrazzo, which great. Stoked for that. That's going to be good. It's going to be a great match and they have their history and all that kind of stuff. And the work that Toni Storm is doing is phenomenal. I love time with Toni Storm. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
But as we were talking, like as we were getting into talking about this, I was sitting here racking my head. I was like, wait, who? Because I was about to drop my line I always say about WWE of like, they need like a mid-card women's title. And then I was like, wait, AEW has one. They had the TBS title. And then I was like, wait, who's the TBS champion? And then I was like, oh yeah, it's Statlander, which like, what have they done with that like at all? Besides like she'll have like random matches on like Rampage and stuff. Yeah. Like
that's exactly what you don't do in a Gunther situation. You know,
right? Like,
she beats Jade, and she's like, "Where? Huh? Who?"
Exactly. Yeah. Like, you beat the undefeated person who then left. So, like, I guess maybe they're trying to like take some shine.
That's why Gable can't do it. Damn it!
But like, you just gotta like, I don't know. Like, it's exciting again because we'll
big,
like,
though.
just like I just said with Okada, like, it's gonna be cool. We'll have Monet back on our screens like more regularly and everything. Great. Julia Hart's the TBS champ.
Yeah.
See, fuck me. Like, yeah, all right.
Of course.
Thank
Kyle.
you. Exactly, Kyle. Thank you. That's what I mean. Like, cool. And I guess, all right, they're on Collision. Great.
What do you think?
Maybe
We have
that's
a
my fault for not
podcast?
watching Collision as regularly as I should. I just there's no prominent storylines around any of it besides Tony and Deanna, which again, awesome. Yeah. But it's just I don't know. I just feel like they don't book them well. Tony doesn't book women very well, in my opinion. He never has. I've ranted about that several times here and on the friggin' blog that I'll write on occasionally and everything. Yeah. He just doesn't do it very well. And he's got to get it together if you bring in Mercedes in, because Mercedes is going to be the one that goes that's what happened in WWE. They didn't give her the right tools there and had everything going with Naomi, and then just completely dropped off. They gave her all these promises. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Gave her the tag titles. We're going to elevate you. Then they didn't. So she's like, I'm out of here. And I don't think she'll hesitate to do that again at all with Tony if it gets to that point.
Yeah. Big business in Boston, Ospreay, Okada. It's really a great time to be a wrestling fan. I mean,
it certainly is.
We love talking about it, and there's problems. There's problems with everything, but at the end of the day, this is big. This is something
for sure
that everybody, like I said, if you don't really watch the big companies, who Okada, who Okada is, who Ospreay is. Who Banks is, who Monet is. It's a big deal. It's just, again, can they capitalize on the situation? Maybe. I don't know. Boston is a good start for this. But, Keith, let's show the people one more time before we get out of here what it was all about tonight. Here we go. There we go. That's Monet right there, Keith.
Gorgeous.
Keith.
Yeah, man.
Let's get the hell out of here. I hear my wife yelling.
I know.
Give the people what they want. How can they find you?
Little man. I am on X at Keith of the Ring. I'm on Instagram at _Keith of the Ring, and I'm on TikTok at Keith of the Ring.
Yes, sir. Again, we appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. We haven't done a live stream for many reasons. You can find us on, I always want to say Twitter. Monet, Daniel Bryan. Get the names right. X at the UWPod. Twitter, Jesus, look at me. X at the UWPod. Instagram at UWPodcast. Keith, God bless you. We do have a fancy website, UWPod.com. New content coming every week. Again, thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Universal Wrestling Podcast.
Like that blood up and say!
Check us out on the web at UWPod.com.
You've got mail.
Or send us an email. info@UWPod.com. Universal Wrestling Podcast.
Nobody does it better.